How's everybody? We're doing things simple. I hope you get why we're doing this. It seems to be like there's so much going on, and it's so just everything in life, and we just want to strip everything down to its simplest form and do things without the edge on it. Isn't it? It's a little more relaxing, right? I mean, think about when you go out to a restaurant, man, you don't want it loud and you don't want it like driven and all that stuff. You want it peaceful. And so we're trying to go through this season of peace. And I hope that through this series that there's going to be some changes that we make in our lives that are going to actually move us from a consumed life to a set-free life. The things I'm talking to you about, they are things about me and my family. And so we're just going to put ourselves out there because our pace is deadly. Our pace is a lot. And I think a lot of you guys are in the same boat. I found out in our world today that it's almost, and maybe this is just me, I don't know, maybe you can relate, but it's almost a pride thing on how busy we are. Like, if somebody says, "How have you been?" your response is like, "Busy." Because to say, "Man, I'm not doing a dang thing," we think everybody's going to look at us and judge us, right? So as we say, "Man, I'm busy. I don't have a minute. I'm running," because we feel like we are impressing people by telling them how busy we are. And I was looking this week, and today, man, I'm going to be really, hopefully, tangible with you. Like, I'm going to put skin on what's going on. So I think one of the things that has happened is like we have become, along the line in history, we couldn't get enough done, right? Because we had problems, like it got dark every day. So someone solved that problem. Now dark was no longer an issue. We put lights on it. Now we can go longer and do more. And so the margins that we had naturally in our life all of a sudden got consumed down and shrunk down, and so we had less margin. Then we got busier and busier and busier. And today, man, we have every opportunity to have less going on, don't we? But what do? We pack more into it. I was thinking, what got me thinking about this is this week I had to send a letter to IRS. Now the IRS still take snail mail. I mean, you have to take an envelope, put a stamp on it, go and put it in a mailbox. Then you have to wait for them to receive it. Then they do whatever they do, and the IRS is definitely not busy. And then they respond back to you, usually through the mailbox. And I was thinking, how impatient am I that like I won't buy things from companies that I even have to call and talk to on the phone. Like if I can't, because that's too long. That takes too long. I want to be able to get on the internet, find what I want, hit a button and get it then. Right? And nowadays, man, they have next day shipping. Like you can order something and it'll be sitting on your doorstep when you get home from work the next day. And this is amazing. This is the pace our lives are in. And we've become intolerant of anything other than instant, right? And I was thinking about, man, this is great that we have all of this stuff at our disposal. It's great, it really is. But then it goes further than that. Like the biggest businesses in America are like restaurants that have drive-thrus. Because it's instant. We got instant access. I don't have to stop to eat a meal. I can drive through and eat my meal while I'm doing whatever else it is that I'm doing. And so I started noticing that I would go through a lot of drive-thrus and I ate a lot of meals at my desk. And I'm like, how busy are you that you can't eat? But what my doctor tells me is that's not good. My doctor tells me that I need to eat less meals at drive-thrus. My scale tells me I need to eat less meals at drive-thrus. You would think as busy as we are, we would be just dropping weight because we don't have time to eat. But in fact, it's just the opposite, isn't it? Why? We don't have time to exercise. Like, think, everybody, like, this is New Year, everybody's like, man, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to get in shape. And you're like, okay, I need 30 minutes. And that's if you're going to go to work stinking when you get done, right? I mean, me, I can't. If I'm going to go exercise, like I'm going to go take a shower and change clothes before I go on. But some of y'all, whatever you do, you do. The thing is, we look and we go, man, I need 30 minutes of exercise. So where do we take it? Well, my wife says you set your alarm 30 minutes earlier. So you don't carve out anything else in your life. You just add to it, right? So now we've got this just extremely chaotic, hectic, busy life going that we're trying to fit other things into because the pace of life is killing us. So now we realize, man, I need to get healthy, so I need to eat better. So we'll get up earlier and pack a lunch. And that way, because I bring my lunch, I never have to stop working. I can just keep going and eat and go and eat and go and do my thing. Or I'm going to exercise. They got these things now. I saw this on TV the other day. They're like treadmills at a standing workstation. So you can literally not stop working to exercise. We are in a world today that we feel as if we are losing if we're not multitasking. I went to a conference about 10 years ago, and 10 years ago, texting and these types of things weren't bad. Phones had just started getting speaker phones in them, and some cars had it where you could wirelessly talk through the radio or whatever. And this guy was talking, and he said, don't waste your drive home. His drive home is where he can be calling all of his volunteers and talking to all. And I'm thinking, we don't even have time to drive anymore. I remember in high school, and then this goes back, I understand. Like, we pedaled our cars. No, I remember in high school, you just wanted to drive. I mean, we would just go for a drive. Do you remember, like, there used to be this thing about out for a Sunday drive? People would just go take a Sunday drive. We can't go on a Sunday drive now because we got 6 phones in the car, everybody taking care of their own business. I've driven down the highway and looked up and wondered where in the world I was at. Like, I don't remember anything from Canton to Forney. Luckily, my mind is like habit, and I took the right roads. I did I didn't hit anybody, or who knows, cop could have been following me for 40 miles, lights on, everything going, but just out of it because we're multitasking. We're so busy. Our schedule at our house is crazy. We get up, Celia gets up earlier than anybody because she goes and drinks coffee and does something else. I don't know what she does. Then I get up, I get ready. Celia's getting the kids up. Justice is still hitting snooze and her alarm's still going off. So about every 15 minutes or so, everybody gets woke up again. And everybody's just running like crazy. You do this in the mornings and it's like, man, did you pack your lunch? No, did you get that? And we got all these things and it's like, did you remember we got this and this and this today? And so we get the list and we break out the list in the morning and it's like, oh my gosh, it's time for school. We got to go. Whoever's able to get Ella to school on time gets to go first. Like, it's like, okay, you're ready, you take her, and I'll do this and this and this. And then we go and we got our work, and we work here. And then when we get off here, then I've got this list, and Celia gives me, because her schedule is really packed. And I've made space in my life, which is a good thing, but it didn't come easy, because I told y'all last week was kind of like God said, you're done with busy. So like, here, die. No. and so it kind of slowed my pace a little bit. But I go home, then we have different days where different things happen, but I end up straightening the house and then cooking the meals. And then I cook me something, and I cook whoever comes in next something, and then usually Celia and Ella come in around 9 o'clock at night. And at 9 o'clock, I catch the list of the day and all the facts that I need. I catch the list for tomorrow, the things we have to do. We're in bed because I'm exhausted. We lay there for a second, turn the TV off, and go to sleep and start over. And we run at this pace. And I thought to myself, are we living? Is this really the life we wanted? And we go so much. And here's the thing, it's become so normal for us. It's so normal. I was wondering when I built my house if I needed to put a kitchen in it. I was actually contemplating, is this wasted space? And I thought, well, midnight snacks. You always need a refrigerator anyway, right? I thought you could put the refrigerator right in the bedroom. Problem solved. Built-in bedroom refrigerator. I thought, do you remember when houses used to be built and there was a living room and then a kitchenette or a little breakfast nook, and then there was what's called a formal dining room. This whole room set aside for the meal. Man, I've been in the houses over the last 10 years. The formal dining room is everything but a dining room. It's storage. It's an extra bedroom. It's a movie room. It's a game room. It's whatever, because there's no need to waste the money to buy a kitchen table. This was something we did when we moved in our house. We were like, I ain't spending no money on a kitchen table. We'll buy the cheapest thing because it will never get used. I didn't know that it would. I mean, it gets used for storage. Like, that's where everything gets piled. That's what a dining room table's for. Because meals, why would you waste all of this time eating when you could be doing something else while you're eating? So you got the kids doing their things. You can't talk to Justice. Like, she'll be carrying on a conversation with you, and this is what she's doing. And not just talking to one person, she's talking to her whole group of friends. I mean, the whole time I'm talking to her, if we're eating, she's eating, watching TV, got her computer out over here, she's applying for colleges. Something that you probably should focus on a little. Applying for college, texting her friends, talking to me and watching TV. The next day we get up and I say something to her, and she says, you didn't tell me about it. I'm like, we had this conversation, this whole conversation. Not a word, like it never happened. This is our lives, and this is the pace of what's going on. But see, the thing is, you guys are living it too. Technology that was supposed to make all of this space in our lives. Like, we got texting, so I don't have to have these long phone calls that you can't get out of, right? Like, where there's nothing to say, but it's too awkward for anybody to hang up. So we got texting. Texting saves us a lot of time because you can just text the facts. Do this. Okay. I mean, that's the way I text. I don't know what y'all use it for, but mine's like, my texts are usually within one letter or two. Sometimes I put O and sometimes I just put K. I mean, I don't really embrace it that much, but I do like that it's supposed to save us time. But instead of saving us time, what's it do? It allows us for us to put more things into our life. Now, I don't have to have a conversation. I can have 5. Another thing that happened with me was I realized I have this game, okay? And I started playing this game because like my mind, when I sit idle, my mind goes spinning, and like, so I think too much. So I needed something to focus. And I read this article, like there's certain games you can do that are like exercising your mind. Games that have multiple steps where you need to look into 3 or 4 layers or whatever. So I started playing this game that was supposed to be like a mind exercise thing. The other day I was playing it and I went to my statistics, and over the last year, I got it a year ago, over the last year, I have played this game for 1 day and 4 hours. And I don't play it that much. Like I play it here and there, but I don't play it that often. 1 day and 4 hours of my life is gone, and I'll never get it back. A day. You'd be like, man, I wish I just had one more day. We're going to lay on our deathbed, go, if I just had one more day. Look back, and your game's going to say, you played me for 6 days of your life. You had an extra week. But see, that ain't the bad thing, because I know you guys that get on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever's next, right? Some of you guys are still like, MySpacing, whatever floats your boat. Some of you guys have never heard of MySpace. Hold your hand if you've never heard of MySpace. Yeah, I see. Here's what happened in my life, is I would get a message from Facebook, or somebody did something and whatever, tag me. Well, I don't know exactly how it all works. But so you open it, and it sucks you in. I mean, you just open it, and you're just going to check out how cool you are, because that's all that matters. And the next thing you know, man, you're so sucked in, and you look down, and Celia's coming home. Nothing's clean. The dishes aren't done, and it's been 4 hours of my life because I'm so drawn in. It's like watching soap operas. You're like, this is the justice. I told you we're just going to be, if you want to skip church the next few weeks, it'd be cool, because we're just going to talk about you anyway. Evidently, there's a show called The Bachelor that's like real popular, like people watch it. And so Justice not only watches, she records it. And I'm sitting there in the kitchen, I'm like, what is this? And she said, well, these people are trying to fall in love. So like there's this guy and all these girls, and they're trying to fall in love and get married. And so they're looking for love, right? And they're talking, and I'm like, who would sit down and watch that? That is the absolute bottom pit of society. Okay? So it's going on. About 15 minutes later, I'm in the kitchen. I can't believe he would pick that girl. And I'm like, I'm not even like, I'm thinking this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then this psycho girl's on there, and she's drunk and he goes, he gives her a flower, whatever they do, and picks her to stay on the show. And I was like, what? I was sucked in, and it's like a train wreck. You can't stop watching. And this is how Facebook is. It sucks us in. We watch these people and we go, this is the craziest person in the world, and you're making it public. You're doing this in public. I've seen divorces go down publicly on Facebook. We know all the details of all the breakups and all the split ups. We know all the details and all the dirty. People love the dirty laundry on Facebook. It's amazing, but the crazier it is, the more we watch. And hours pass, and hours pass, and hours pass, and our lives are so consumed because we're involved in Facebook and we're involved in this and that. It's crazy. It's a crazy pace. Then I've got another daughter, Ella, who is doing gymnastics. Now, gymnastics is not something you just go yeah, I'm going to just do this. Like you need to practice. It takes time to do gymnastics, right? I played baseball, and baseball's not something you go, hey, I'm going to do 15 minutes this week and it'll be all right. Like, it takes hours to do these types of activities. But what I realized is, man, my daughter is in third grade. And she'll leave the house at 8 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock. Should be a little earlier than that, but sometimes 8 o'clock. And the kid will get home at 9 o'clock or later 3 nights a week. In third grade. Then yesterday we were at a gymnastics meet from when the sun came up till way after the sun went down. All day. Now my kid was out there for about a minute and a half, so that was very productive. I told Celia, these are stupid. I could schedule these gymnastics meets. You show up, your kid goes 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes, 30 seconds. You're done. Go home, let the next kid up. But no, everybody has to come. Everybody has to sit there because they space them out all day. It's like you go for 20 seconds, then you wait for 4 hours. Then you go for 20 seconds, then you wait for 4 hours. That's kind of the way. But anyway, the point is, our kids' busyness, in our business, our lives are consumed. We are the busiest people in the history of the world, aren't we? And do you ever just feel tired? I mean, just like we come in dragging, right? When we come in the door, we hit and we're just, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't ask me anything. Then we get up and we do this. And Saturday comes, the weekend, thank God, right? No. What's Saturday for? All the things you didn't get done, right? All because we have a Saturday list. Why? Well, there's hours on that day. So anything we can't fit everywhere else, we'll pump it into this day. And then so we got all of this to do, and then it's like, wow, man, Saturday night comes. Well, I love Saturday night. Whew, finally, man, we quit an hour or two earlier than we do the rest of the week. And then you're like, all right, we're going out tonight. Get in the car. You drive in the car. She's texting. You're driving. You know, you're listening to a football game because you can't. You got to do two things at once always. So she's texting and Facebooking, and you're driving. You're not talking. You get to the restaurant. You're checking scores, and she's checking whatever, and then you go home, and that was a great date, babe. Good night, see you tomorrow. Sunday comes, and like now everything's on Sunday too, isn't it? Like when I was a kid, there were these laws called blue laws. Y'all remember? Anybody remember blue laws? You couldn't be open. You couldn't do business on Sunday. Like in Canton, man, if you didn't get it Saturday at 5 or 6 o'clock, game over. You were done. Like when we were growing up, you were done. And like I remember when they had the credit card paid gas pumps come in that you could actually get gas on Sunday. Because I mean, if you're out of gas Saturday at 5, you are done. It was game over. But now nothing ever stops, does it? It just goes, and it never stops. And we like to say, we talk about them people who are open on Sundays. But every one of us is going to go eat somewhere, buy something, do something on Sunday, right? Well, that's why people are open. So I look at it, and I'm so overwhelmed. And I started looking at the pace of our lives, and I'm like, this is not living. This is not how I want to live my life. See, we were created for rest. We were created for rest. And what I want to talk to you today about was rest. When do you stop? When do we ever stop? In Matthew chapter 11, in the Message Bible, I love the Message because it kind of says it in like the way we would talk to each other, And in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, it says, this is Jesus talking. And he says this, and it's up on the screen because unless you're carrying a message, this isn't going to look like what yours says anyway. Are you tired? Worn out? And I was like, yeah. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. Burn out on religion? Yeah. He says, come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn how to live freely and lightly. Is that what we want? Isn't that what we want? One thing everybody wants, they want to live free. We want freedom. Everybody in the world, universally, we want freedom. And we want to live lightly. Don't you just feel like you're tired of dragging the world around behind you? We want to live free and we want to live this light life. And Jesus says His teachings, follow Him, His teachings, His way, and He'll show you how to live this way. One of the teachings of Jesus says, you got to learn to say no. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. That's one of the things Jesus teaches. One of the things Jesus does, this is huge. When a big event is coming, when Jesus is facing something, when a decision is coming, you know what Jesus does? He takes off for 40 days. He cuts out for 40 days. You know what I do when I get overwhelmed and I got big decisions? I work harder and stay busier. And then the big decisions are forcing down on me and coming down on me. And they're coming in. And so what do? I make decisions out of desperation, hoping to get relief, but usually finding out that my decisions cause me more trouble and more work in the long run. Jesus, by action, teaches, don't make decisions when you're tired and overwhelmed and worn out. Those are stupid times to make decisions. Major decisions should not be made quickly and they should not be made when you're tired. You should never make decisions when you're tired. As a pastor, I should never decide anything on Monday. Because, man, my Mondays, I'm like spun out still. My head, I'm just fuzzy. Nothing works. So if you want something, you want to manipulate me, ask me on Sunday. I'll be like, I don't know. Rest. We were made for rest. We weren't made for laziness. I'm not saying be lazy. But here's the thing. We need to cut some things out of our lives. And we need to learn the art of hard work. We need to get up, we need to work, and we need to work hard. And when it's time to stop working, we need to stop working, put it down, and rest. Then we need to get up, and we need to work, and we need to work hard. Then we need to stop, we need to put it down, and we need to rest. And then we need to get up, and we need to work, and we need to work hard. And I'm telling you, if we find that rhythm in life, if we will work hard and rest, and work hard and rest, and work hard and rest, you will accomplish 10 times as much. The reason our work stinks nowadays, our work is not productive because we are too busy. We never have the rest. So when we do need to work, where do we get the fuel from? We're already on empty, right? So we can't do it. We need to rest. Guys, you need sleep. You need sleep. If you're trying to fit more things into your life by getting in bed later and getting up earlier, you're defeating the purpose of everything. You need sleep. Your body needs rest. When you feel like sleeping, you need to sleep. When you come in at 6 o'clock and you're like, I can't hold my eyes open, why are you holding them open? You want to miss something? Rest. When you need rest, your body will rest. I want to challenge you to do something. Pick a day this week. Pick a day this week and uninstall Facebook off your phone. Just pick a day. You guys who are really tough and who are really serious, if you're really worn out, this is what I suggest. I did this 2 days last week. I got up and left my phone on my nightstand. 24 hours. No text, no calls, no Facebook, no games. Do you know how much more time I had in my life that day? Do you know how light I felt? I'm going to be serious. I had a few panic moments. Like I'm driving down the road and I'm like, what if somebody needs me? You're not that important. I'll just be honest with you, you're not that important. Nobody needs you. Do you remember when they used to have to wait till you got home to talk to you? Do you remember that? We had a party line when I was a kid. Some of you guys don't even know what a party line is. Like, we had a party line when we were kids. So not only did you have to wait, but you had to wait till all your neighbors were done on the phone. Like, there wasn't none of this, being at every 30 seconds the phone. Can you imagine a party line today? That thing it'd be burning on turbo. It would just burn out. The wires would melt. It'd be fires everywhere because it would never be hung up. We have so many people talking and using the cell phones at the same time that there's not enough room in the air. Do you realize the bandwidth in the air is not enough? That's bad, right? Turn it off. This is something else that I'm committed to. I went and bought dishes this weekend. You're like, wow, way to go. Here's why. I threw all our dishes away. I'm one of those people that when I get rid of stuff, it's gone. So I've got all these cabinets, they're full, nobody ever uses anything. I threw it all away. Because we use paper plates, plastic cups, plastic forks and spoons. If we can get extra stuff from Whataburger, we'll stock up because that's what we use at home. We don't need a dishwasher because everything goes in the trash. The truth is that works because we're too busy to wash dishes. There's a washing machine now that is a washer and a dryer because we're too busy to take the clothes out of the washer and put them in the dryer. Everybody's like, that is a great idea. Now, is there one that folds and puts them away? How many of you guys fold your clothes and put them away? Maybe 5. Why? It's too much time to fold the clothes and take them away when I can just run through while I'm brushing my teeth, hit the dryer, warm them up, get in them and the wrinkles are brushed out and you're ready to go, right? Who has time to wash, dry, fold, and put away laundry? Yeah, well, I understand. The thing is, this is the pace of our lives. I threw our dishes away because we didn't use them, but this is horrible for our environment. How many of you guys use paper plates, paper cups? See? We're killing our environment. We are. I went and bought dishes. Guess what else I did? No, I do have to wash the dishes. Here, I cleared off the table. We're going to start eating our meals at the table. I hadn't told you about that. We're going to come home at night, and we're going to sit at the table without the TV on and without the phone, We're going to eat a meal without a TV and a phone. That is crazy, right? And maybe you can't do that. Maybe, but here's the thing. Set aside a day. Say, here's what we're going to do, guys. On Thursday night, no TV, no phone. We're sitting down and we're going to eat a meal together. Here's why. My daughter's graduating like 5 months. And she's gone. No. But I look at Ella, I look at Justice's life, and she's busier. She's busier than we are. And I look at her and I'm like, baby, you're wasting your life. But where did she learn it? See, I taught her that. I taught her that busyness was success. I taught her that. And I look at, she's leaving. And where did the time go? I mean, I know there's going to come a time where I'm going to say, man, I would give anything if she would just come home, sit down at the table, and let's eat a meal together. I don't want Ella to graduate high school and have that pace of life because she's not known anything but that. I want my kids to know that they are more important than Facebook. I want my family to know that I care more about them than I do The Bachelor. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works out this season. No, I'm just kidding. I've realized that the things that are really important to me, man, I just kind of missing by being too busy. And I don't want to live that way anymore. I think Jesus taught us how to have margins in our lives. You know what? I'm going to set you free today. It's okay to come home from work, sit down, relax, get up, make your meal, sit down with your family, eat, sit down, go get up, wash your dishes, put them away, sit down, and relax. It's okay. You're free to do that. You're free to come home and sit down. You're free to. Like, this is America. I think it's America. Is this America? Like, I think you're free to come home from work and sit down and have a conversation with your kids. Well, I got this that needs to be done and that's broken and this is broken. You know what? Get around to it. Put it on a list. Set your priorities. You'll get to it. But man, we have got to find time for the things that are important in our lives. Time is the thing that you will never get back. You can always get money back. You can always get new stuff. You can do anything. There's a whole lot of redos in life. But time is not one of them. Some of you guys need to delete Candy Crush. Just delete it. Delete it. Subway Surfers. Man, that's addictive too. Like Ella's like 8 and she's addicted to Subway, she's addicted to these games. If I told you that next week I need 1 day of your life, you'd say, I don't have a day to give. And if I go look at your phone, I'll guarantee you spent more than 24 hours on Facebook. You know what? People will live without you in their business. They'll make it. It may be hard. They'll make it. Some of the greatest freedom you will ever experience is to push uninstall. We've got to find a place where it's just time to disconnect from certain things. Do you want to tweet your life away? Is that all you want your life to have meant, to stand for? Not me, man. I want more than that. You know, I'd rather sit down and have a conversation with my daughter than text her as we're passing on the road. I text her all the time, I love you. I'd rather sit down with her and tell her that. But see, it starts with us. It starts with you. Like, it starts with me. I can't tell my daughters to be less busy at my pace. Our marriages cannot continue with the 9 o'clock fact hour. Relationship is not just passing facts. Did you do this? Yes. Did you do that? Yes. This is what that said. Well, good night. That's not a relationship. That's business. Man, our marriages need time and focused energy. We were created for rest. I'm done. I'm going to read this again. Are you tired? Worn out? Burned out on religion? Come to me. Get this one though. What's the next thing say? Get away with me. And you'll recover your life. Get away. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. Let me pray for you. You guys stand with me.
In love.